All right, it is 6:13. Call the meeting to order. All right, first on the agenda is public comment. Any public comment? First, not public.
Everyone received this book last meeting, and has everyone been aware of the correction that was made?
On Article 13, Article 13.
Yeah. Page 21,
Page 21, what is to serve the.
the article is for town meeting day, Saturday. The bottom one there is, just a misprint.
So they covered it up?
Yeah, they covered up
Put a
in the
sticker
newer
on the
versions.
newer one.
Oh.
Yeah, it's right on the warrant, but it's not right in the book.
Oh,
So
Apparently hard without.
they're like, how many did you give out? Like,
That's at the text of Article 12, but the heading of Article 13 or something like that.
it's
so
a,
the typo.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
text.
it's just
So-
a cut and paste job that got amok.
Okay.
Just to let you know, there are a lot of problems with the budget and all that kind of stuff, and I'm on the BS, so it's really kind of disturbing.
You mean as far as typos?
Budget, wrong numbers, and this, that, and the other, adjust this, there's something wrong with the ARPA funds. We just found out about it with the BSC.
It's gonna be a lot of
It's gonna
amendments.
be a lot of amendments. It's exactly. right.
Poor Bill.
Yeah, poor
Oh, my goodness.
for us.
When are we
Look,
to do the presentation? At what point?
yeah, they are going to bring the presentation of reports. That'll be one of the first things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it-
Warrant article
it-
might, we're gonna
And
try
we're
to
gonna
make the warrant article right after.
It-
Everything else, town meeting tomorrow.
Right. And then we're hopefully going to ask for an amendment to the agenda to bring the vote on the committee forward to have it adjacent to the,
After Article 8.
yeah, to the, you know.
Voting.
Yeah, they're changing it, they want to change it to 8. No.
8 to 7.
We change the voting from 8 o'clock in the morning to.
Instead of 7.
Instead of 7 to 7.
Make it the.
Yeah, this year it's gonna be 7. Yeah, that's not too bad. Well, everyone has to go to work late.
Well, yeah, I would say 7 makes more sense.
Yeah.
All right, we can debate that tomorrow. Exactly. Next on the agenda is the approval of last week's meetings minutes, then draft minutes. Are there any commentary, changes, amendments that need to be made on the minutes?
I had a couple here. I don't know if you've got your minutes there, but I mean, cost benefit, first paragraph, 75-20 for building. I think it should have said 2-bay building.
Yeah.
And then also second to the last sentence, there was no excavation. I think she meant there was no excavation bid. I think she means demolition bid.
No, it was excavation bid too.
Oh, was there excavation bid?
There was an excavation. bid.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there was a
We were-
demolition bid.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The demolition for that versus the town. The whole sentence is, our guys could do it.
Yeah.
So the idea
was-
was they would do
It
it.
was thought on the excavation as well, that
Oh,
if it's minor excavation work and there weren't any problems, they
Okay.
could do it. But David did throw an excavation number in the cost benefit analysis spreadsheet, which we did. Which I did
should we
incorporate into the
Should we
numbers.
just say demolition also, just because it's relevant there or? I know we discussed it a number of times.
It was an estimate, I mean, it's not
Yeah.
necessarily.
And but there was we never got an excavation estimate at all,
No, but what else?
but we did get a demolition estimate.
Correct.
Oh, we did get a
Yes,
demolition bid.
We did.
Oh,
Since
I'm
last-
sorry.
since last meeting.
Matthews and Company. That'll be.
This happened last meeting.
No, we had, at the last meeting, we had that.
Oh,
information.
okay, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I got you, I got
so I would say it's correct.
you.
as
Yeah,
it
yeah,
reads.
yep, I'm with you. I'm with
Okay.
I had my comment about the pricing out of the doors. I think that
you.
should
Yeah,
be
right.
edited to say garage doors.
Mhm.
And I think what I was saying was that we could get three doors for the price of what we just spent to
And
get
for one
one.
door.
Yeah.
That was the point that I was trying to make.
Right.
Why do we ever pay for one, we get for one?
That's,
I don't know. I'm just telling you that this is a reputable company. I got a bid for installed
Who was it?
apples for apples. Natural overhead door.
What was your question, Matt?
I was wondering why do we pay that much when we could have?
But didn't this one include making the frame bigger?
True, it did.
Actually making.
Cutting the opening bigger. Yeah, it's true, it is true.
$3,000 less. We
Okay.
wanted 15 for it, you did it for 12,
Okay,
12 or 13.
so there was more construction involved.
Yeah.
The point is this
Kind
is,
of widen it over.
we're talking about the cost.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan.
that's past. I can't affect that. Yeah.
We amended one thing in the minutes, right?
Right.
Peter's thing.
That we were gonna say two bay,
Okay.
that was an amendment, right? The two bay building there in the first part. Which I agree with, and then we could get three of the doors for the price of one via the bidding process.
That's the culvert
I guess.
sentence, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Other than that,
And adding, when pricing out the garage doors, we're adding the word
garage doors, yeah. You taking updates on that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just,
right. Okay.
just running the other things. The statement at the top of page 2, Kingston explained the first rendering of the existing site printed here at the meet. I was having a hard time. It is option 3. Kingston explained the first rendering of the existing
So
site.
it was a 3D render, the one 3D rendering that we looked at last
Yeah.
meeting.
Right. The first one was option 3.
I think so.
I think she's saying that we looked at,
We looked at an
we
option.
looked at the
three.
rendering for.
The one that I
option three.
did was option
Option
3,
three.
yeah. And I would do the other 3 options, there aren't 5 options. Okay.
I make a motion to approve minutes as amended.
Second.
Moved,
Aye.
all in favor,
I,
opposed, okay.
Nobody seconded that.
Meetings are, second was.
about 4 people, maybe.
Was David. So. All right, right, the only other thing on our agenda for this evening is a final look at. The meeting report and planning. So everyone should have gotten an email with the 3D renderings and the updated report. Did I have the updated number from Peter on the potential offset yet when I put that out? On the project cost and time phasing,
I don't. Did you?
did I have
My email has that.
264?
I think that was,
When did you send that out? Yeah. Today?
I don't remember.
I didn't get into that.
all right.
Could be, yeah,
So you amended that bottom line number?
Oh.
well,
There's two.
I think I had like I think I had a number of 245 or something that we had kicked around here. And I emailed Peter to get me the actual number from the budget. He sent that to me. And the actual number as of February was the 264. Yeah. At the bottom of that page, there's a total project cost could be offset by the existing garage relocation fund of 264,000.
That's what I have.
Okay. So there's you probably have a newer.
No, I just took the bottom one.
Oh, okay.
That's a footer, you had that as
Yeah.
a footer. and-
Right.
Yeah.
So this page is the big change
Okay.
since we met last
I've been
week.
home all day, so.
Yeah, so that's basically the cost benefit analysis broken down. Is what
Yeah,
Oh,
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
so this is the stuff that Clay and David did.
put into
into-
time phase chunks of, right,
Which I think would be easier for.
Right.
most
So-
of them. What are we?
so I broke it down into total project cost, at least. You know, the objective cost right now. The maximum cost of any one phase. So that's saying the most we would need from the town. To do any block in the process, and these blocks are all independent, you can do one or
Mhm.
two or all of them, right? But the most you would need to have in any one phase is that maximum phase cost number. And then the life cycle cost, we really need to do more work on to round that at this point. And I think it's.
Yeah, but the life cycle, you don't need that for acquisition.
Right.
You only need that for.
Yeah, that's,
And
that's
the
a,
town doubles the
what's this
population.
really going to cost me in the end, right? Yeah,
The town needs.
yeah. And I was personally kind of shocked and very pleased, you know, when I looked at that, the roll-up cost for any one of these options compared to the amount of money that's sitting in the relocation fund, right?
Which money did you use for the relocation?
I just use the
240, the
240, the 264, right? Because I think that the other one. Once an option, I think that would require the other fund. I think is appropriately used to do engineering and permitting. For any changes
He's
that we
referring
do,
to the warrant
here,
for a study.
right?
Like the
45K, they used 10K already, there's 35K left in it.
Yeah.
But it's for study for the relocation of highway department
So.
the year before.
So if that's not being done, that would be another one that could be reallocated, but used for the engineering studies, and then the larger fund would be the actual. Build out cost, right? And you're left with,
Either one of those requires a warrant article.
yes, to
Followed by a warrant article.
repurpose those funds, right?
So it could go on.
So that's framed as it could be.
Yes, could be offset by existing. Right?
Just a minor change on option 4. Under remove equipment shed.
Yeah.
You flip off those two numbers.
Oh, be a good idea, wouldn't it? All right, good catch.
Are we gonna be going through this in order or just jumping in like on this?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, are you gonna go through this in order or do we just jump in with comments?
I'm happy because we've essentially gone through this at the last meeting. If you have comments, yeah,
Page 6. The second bullet,
the second bullet of. which
page
page?
6. Options.
Uh-huh,
Based on our interviews, other town facilities and environmental benefits expressed as reason to re-site the highway department. I like simple words.
all right.
I call it move.
Or how about relocate?
Either one,
Yeah.
but something to connect.
All right,
I'm not sure the re-site.
All the relocation was.
yeah, relocate, all right. Very good.
Relocate is kind of, I like that word better.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one that's
That's
used.
the word that's been used.
Good. Good.
And I do really love this total project cost. To be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Can't be any more clear.
And
And it's subtle to the point.
Yeah.
Clay, I know you had a comment last time on the growth.
Yeah,
chart,
but I think you hit it.
and I hope, yeah,
Yes, I did look at that, it's here somewhere.
all right. So saying, yeah, we have the additional one ton truck in reserve. And oh, by the way, if we could put people in the seats of the truck we have full time.
Yeah. Because, and I was thinking about this too.
What page is on there?
It's on page
What
5.
about, yeah, this is great.
I thought this.
Yeah, page 5.
This page. I don't have a new option. See, I don't have. Oh,
What about
Let
road?
me give you this.
Because it'd be like, the truck with a spare. I would just think one of the.
Right, so we have two ways of covering some growth, even without going out and buying another truck, right? Yeah, and those are we have the 1-ton truck in reserve. And all we need is to put a driver in the seat during what is the downtime of the other drivers. And you've got the equivalent of a full nother truck, you know, out there already, so.
I'm sure it's better than it reads. Reading what Bruce is saying, there's 3 big trucks, by the way, and we have the third truck is, and the reason.
Well, it's-
reason Ken, no, he's keeping it, he's not sending it, he's not doing anything with it, he's keeping it, he told the select board.
Makes
And
it,
he's keeping it because it has some kind of underbelly issue that he can take into rough terrain, the other ones you can't.
Right.
On top of that, it's a additional sanding truck. So there's no point in getting, he said, the cost effectiveness, because Kempson. So he's got 3 big trucks, plus the 1-ton, which can be used for sanding.
How big are the other trucks? 2-ton, 2.5?
I don't know, but Bruce, what do you?
Aren't they considered a 6?
5-ton or 6-ton.
Regular size dump.
So what Kent's exact words are is that he's just gonna run that truck into the ground. It's saving on the life of the brand new one we just bought, so it's kind of, when that truck is done and retired, it's gonna go to a junkyard, but it won't be replaced. We don't have a CI plan in temp for 3 full-size trucks, so it's just, he's getting some extra life out of it.
But they're getting, and also.
And we have to insure it, you know, there is some expense,
Yeah.
you know, but once it starts to get expensive to maintain it, it's gone.
Well, the thing is if one of the other trucks goes down, it's a spare, you know, and Ken said in some ways it's better than the newer trucks because it's not as complicated.
It's not as vulnerable. to-
Electronic.
Electronics and
It's for the CIP.
Rough.
Get that stuff, get it out, kind of extend their timeline out a little bit more.
Jim, I want to ask,
Like we
good idea. Another thing also, on page 3, the requirements, and 4 2x40 heated bays for sandwich truck and loader and backhoe.
No.
And there's 2 sand trucks.
No, the backhoe does not need heated bay, the loader does.
No, he actually puts the loader and the backhoe in this.
Yeah, but
In
the
these-
loader
in these
does,
bays.
he said the loader the backhoe does not need to be heated. The loader has a different.
Okay.
Different hydraulic
He puts
system that
it
needs to
back
be
in there.
heated.
Backhoe and grader can be outside or undercover in a non-heated bay, but they need to have access to the glow plugs being able to be plugged in
Yeah.
for diesel for the, so they don't jump.
He just told me that that's where he stored them in
Yes.
the winter time.
Yes, he does. No, it's not required. Right.
And also the other question was the 120 by secure storage area. Is that a 20 by 40? Was the secure storage area? 20
Yeah,
by
the
40?
ground maintenance building is approximately 20
Is it by
by
20
40
by 40? I was just
Yeah.
curious. Okay.
equipment. Storage equipment.
Current one.
Current one is okay.
I like the way that everybody as a team put this together, but it is easy to read, it's understandable, it's not too.
Put your right hand and watch.
It sure does.
The way it matches up with a 3D modeling.
Yeah.
Awesome. You not only
Yeah.
see this.
I give us an A+ as a committee. I really do. It's, as a committee, I think we get an A+ for accomplishing what we were warned to do.
Yeah.
What our charter was, this is it. And whether you're for or against, we're doing what we said we do.
And no more.
So I had a bunch of time to drive today, and I was thinking of the big picture of this. To move the highway garage. I can't imagine you're gonna be under $3 million.
We're gonna get grants.
We got spend however bit.
Bear with me, however we do it. $3 million over 20 years, with no interest. Is $150,000 a year. The real question is. Okay, we're gonna spend $150,000 a year on the highway garage, hypothetically speaking. The smart move is, you go ask them what you want. I can guarantee they're not gonna say, we want a new facility. They're gonna want people or equipment or something like that. They're not gonna want a new facility. Saying, we want a new facility, give us $150,000 a year, is the wrong question. It should
Well,
be-
that's that opportunity cost, right? Of, if I'm gonna
You can look at it that way.
I'm gonna spend $3 million on a new facility, there's the opportunity cost of $150,000 a year. That's not going to paying salaries and putting somebody in the seat of those trucks during the downtime.
Right.
So,
Well, one of the other things that, not a big piece of the reason, but a part of the reason that we all got together in this whole thing was what was presented to us was only what the cost would be for a building.
Building a new place.
I'm
There was
guessing
never,
that
there was never any consideration given to what was gonna happen up here.
well, and it was, my guess is that it's $200,000. It was probably a bunch of material dumped up there. It probably was not that price couldn't cover a building with a foundation and
Oh,
everything
no,
like that.
it was.
And excavation and all the dirt water and $10,000.
And that's the reason we're sitting here today, is we needed this from that.
I looked them all over them.
yeah, I just wanted to let everybody see the quality, because these are probably
Oh, what we're gonna hand
the
out.
biggest that I'm gonna be able to print.
Put it on a
These are
board.
gonna be
Get
on-
one up.
Then I'll put them on a board, yes.
Do you need help?
Um. I mean, as far as putting stuff together at the end,
How's your ink? How's your ink budget?
well, I'm gonna end up going to Staples and
That's,
you know, there's,
biggest expense here I can see is the.
yeah, as far as printing the handouts, which are these that are gonna go on the, on people's seat.
Black and white, still red money.
So back to the actual,
Yeah.
just the group report, not before these.
Right.
Mhm. So there've been a couple little amendments, right? My only other comment would be on, I like it, the project cost and time planning,
Mhm.
but are those graphics, could you do it so you could read it a little better? 'Cause I noticed. with the
This is how
arrows-
that's gonna look.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
All right.
you have the Apple version.
I get-
Yeah. Or full interpretation of PowerPoint.
That looks better than that.
Yeah.
Yes, that was my only comment on that. Otherwise, I love it. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Very,
Now, Clay's comment. 8.5 by 11 black and whites.
I have no intention of passing
yeah, these
all
should
of
maybe
these
be on
out
the big
to
thing. and
everyone.
then-
I think just the report.
This is what's going on the chairs?
Okay, so
The
not-
report is what's gonna go on the chair, not the 3Ds. The
Okay.
3Ds and the site maps are gonna go on poster board that everybody can get up and look at if they, or, you know, look at when they come in or whatever.
You want, you're gonna put the poster boards together and then do you want people around them to answer? questions?
Yeah.
Do we have one that's option 4 with that gone
Option 4,
and maybe the 2 bay, and the 2 bay might be where that is.
yeah, here is option 4,
Okay, yeah, all right. I didn't see this.
This is option 4 with the sand.
and that's with the sand shed showing how the sand shed gives you the additional parking.
Wondering if, you have the poster board and everything,
Mhm.
and obviously you've got about 200 of these in full color, do that. But what if you did 10 sets of them? And handed them out and let them have a read?
Yeah.
Yes, they.
The poster board, you people standing next to them.
Yeah,
Because then we have control of the discussion.
I think the other thing too, the maximum cost of option 4 is 341 plus 61.
Right.
You know, that's
400,000.
That's $402,000 for everything.
while we're on that note,
Right.
and this is probably a little bit Peter. The monies that were set aside for the relocation,
Mhm.
right, which is
With Indian Hawks.
just put in the hole, which was, what was the number?
260.
249 to begin with, but interest is now made at 260.
Okay, is there any way that those
That's an
funds
interesting point.
could be put towards this project?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
It's like moving parts. It's moving parts.
We talked about.
Okay. Catch up, man.
That's true.
Yeah, you have to do all that. Right.
Yeah.
Create a new fund.
Yeah, so pull it
Jim,
back
this
in.
is what's the point there.
Right.
Hang on.
Pull that money back over and then that
Right.
number gets really small.
Yeah.
To do the whole thing.
Right.
And then my second question, and this is for Bruce. When we're talking about those numbers and those things that are there, you know, you're gonna, the person says, well, where'd you get these estimates from? Right, you know, where did these estimates come from? You just pulled these out of the air?
No.
You had, well, and you have all this documented estimates, so if
I do.
someone looks for that,
I do,
that'll be available.
I do.
Those.
all reputable insured builders and suppliers and installers.
I think it's unfair personally to the folks that have given Bruce numbers to share those numbers at this point, because that's giving other people legs up.
Yeah.
I think,
That's a good point.
I'm just saying if
You
you
know,
press
I
down
think-
to the fact.
Well,
if they can't take Bruce's word for it, that those are honest to God quotes, well, then you're not gonna take the paper it's written on worth anything either, so. But we need to protect those people that gave you quotes.
Simply that with time, limited, you know, so it gives the false impression.
Right.
So the answer is
Next year, that can be skewed, yeah.
Obviously, these are, if
They are, and it goes even further, one in particular, you probably wouldn't even mind if his name was said, but I won't say it, but. Said he would donate, the concrete, he would donate his labor because he lives here in town and plans on living here for a long time. And the cost was half.
because of that.
In other words, $30,000 bid,
Mhm.
15,000 if he does the job, if it actually happens.
Mhm.
Donating 15,000 worth of labor to the town.
Bruce, 30 is
So
you.
that's gonna be tough for any other concrete guy to compete with, unless he lives in town and wants to do the same thing, but that's only if it happens.
And that's the
Right.
full cost. Yeah.
And right now, it's the full cost of demolition,
Right.
where we know that we could possibly do that with our own guys and our own equipment. So this is the high end
Right.
of
Of the
the
range.
crunch.
Bruce, would that be worth mentioning in some generic form that people live in town here that would contribute? Just in a generic form, not specific, because you don't want to tie it down, but as a potential thing.
Well, one of
Part
our
of our
members
argument.
has already contributed.
I think if the question arises, I think I'll point to Bruce to answer that, right? Yeah.
Jim, can I just get back to Matt's thing? I'm not sure if this will be an issue, but there's only, the warrant article for the 240 was only for 249,000.
Mhm.
They put that money in the relocation fund for building. The money from 249 to 264, which is right there now, it's all interest.
Mhm.
I'm not sure that interest
Goes to-
is it can be used because the warrant article, I just wanted to
Right.
reference that because
Well,
I had,
wait,
Didn't they
I think
establish
that fund was established based on the sale of the land, though, could have been any number.
yeah,
Didn't have
but
to be-
that all land was all put in there with a very specific.
No, but the
number.
land was still owned by the town when they created.
Yeah,
the
but we
fund.
sold it, but we also put $119,000 of tax money in that fund. So it was land and, yeah, look at the warrant. We put a lot of, it wasn't just all something. My point is, I don't think we want to be, if that could be an issue,
Yeah.
because I get interest.
I think next year's town meeting, when we
So
say,
town
oh, we're
meeting.
gonna cancel this account, whatever, there's 270 in there by then.
Well, again,
I see just
I think it all depends on how the discussion goes.
right.
If our committee continues,
So,
and they vote for us to continue. And next year, our discussions, our forums involving the townspeople, if it all points towards that happening,
Mm.
then next year you could very well see an article to rescind that money and have that money reallocated to the general
We might
fund.
even
but
say,
it's not-
let's
it's
get rid of
not-
that
It's not a
270
specific, but.
and
the
let's
money
ask
is
for
in
200 as a
account.
maximum
We're
grant.
gonna have
for
money.
Plus, we all make some big.
Trustees get to keep it.
You guys are both talking at the same time.
The thought is that it's not a relocation fund per se, it's an account, an escrow account with that money was put into. So if you cancel that account, you would get the whole fund, right? All the money.
Peter would be
But
better.
it's very clear, if you rescind a fund for $249,000.
No, I'm saying that the fund money was put into an escrow account, is that correct?
A trust fund,
Expendable
expendable trust fund.
Okay, so the trust would be rescinded and turned over to another opportunity.
Well, that's not the way it works. We rescind the warrant article. You don't rescind a trust fund. You rescind a warrant article.
Right.
And the warrant article specifically says 249.
Yeah.
Again,
Really?
I'm just getting a little bit,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just
I don't think
It's an important issue.
it said, the establishment fund
No,
based on the proceeds from the sale of the land, didn't have a
just
number.
just let you know, I'm a custodian of about 6 different accounts and they all hit, they're all in sparing. None of that money is applied to the bond
But
repayment.
the relocation
or the-
fund didn't have a figure, it just said the sale of land.
No, there was a
Yeah,
figure
no,
of
that's very specific, 249, the
249,000.
warrant article is very precise.
I think,
Yeah, very precise.
I think about 9 months from now is when we should be.
Yeah. Right.
Worried about it. Again, the point is, it's in the slide, it's got 264 there. I think
Oh,
it might be
change the
confusing.
number,
I'm
okay.
just saying, change the number to 249, just so there's no.
How about if we don't put a number and we just say the money that was allocated to.
I
I like that number.
I like a number. I like a number. I can say 249 plus.
Plus, yeah,
Plus,
it is, they were initially allocated, I think, 3,000 to start.
Do a little.
Then they got the 45,000, of which they spent approximately 10. Then they got the 249,8. So there's been 3 warrant articles where the TLURC was allocated specific funds.
Can I clarify what she's saying? The TRLUC only got 3,000. All the other things anybody could use. The the temple.
Oh, they
land
weren't
use,
specific
They
to the
weren't
land use,
exactly right. And but that's why we approached them and said, can we have some of that study money? And they shut us down.
Yeah.
But legally, we could have, because it says the Board of Selectmen are authorized as the agents. And the temple, the
Right.
TLURC was not mentioned as a committee. So that's who it was for.
Okay.
You're right.
But we were shut down because we said we could do it for free.
Right.
Not because we were asking for money,
Right.
right? So, okay, I have another question that might be a little more urgent.
Mhm.
The petition warrant article that we put in, both authorize highway garage study group to continue the analysis. Doesn't say anything about the half of the people that never show up. We don't address that.
Well,
That's
that's
not
a-
a.
that's up to the-
They
Continued.
They appoint. So we, yeah, we go ahead.
Well, it's not asking to be reappointed.
Because it's never part of a warrant.
Right.
Okay,
For this kind of a committee, because we're an advisory committee. And so the board has complete control of
I mean-
appointment and budget.
With the,
okay, so if this is approved, then we go back to them and say,
The select.
we want to pare the team down to people that.
Yeah, we'd ask them if they don't want to participate in. Because that would lower our quorum.
And we never missed the quorum the entire time.
Yeah, we all barely got
Mhm.
We have 30, 13 or 14.
14.
Odd number, right?
We've always had only 8 or 9.
Even through the summer, all summer. long.
Okay,
Always have-
are there any other questions, comments on any of the material for the town meeting?
Have you done a talking walkthrough on this to time it out based on what we have?
You got 15 minutes.
Yeah,
That's the norm, 15 minutes per presenter,
Yeah.
15 minutes.
usually it's the presenter of a warrant, not a report.
Report, right.
Well, I think it's the same. When I was moderating, I would consider it the same, but I did it.
So I will have to fly through this to get 15 minutes.
Not the time.
Yeah.
You know, I would.
And I'm gonna talk very slowly, making my point to some people on some of this.
Unless you want to have a separate speech referring to this on your chairs
Right.
and just have a separate
And talk to.
condensed list, speech.
I'll,
Going through line
That's
by
it.
line.
Instead of the
yeah,
whole thing.
yeah, I'll condense it.
Right.
Certainly. I mean,
Well,
there are a couple of
yeah.
things that really need to be addressed in there, but most of it is pretty condensable.
If it's on everybody's seat, you don't have to read it.
Right.
You just have to say, it might be a sentence or two on each page.
Mhm.
Well, and then you can ask, people can ask questions because they're gonna ask questions.
Yep.
And then you can refer to, see if you look on page 4.
And is it 15 minutes, then questions?
That's right.
Typically, yes.
That's right.
Again, just in terms of logistics, who's gonna help you put these all out in all the chairs? You're gonna be there at 9:30. I just think we ought to coordinate something.
Anybody who can be there, I'll take it, whatever help everybody can have.
Gonna be,
Yeah.
Jim, what time do you plan on being?
What are you gonna be?
Meeting starts at
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Yeah.
It's a good question.
I think 9:30, there's people starting.
I gotta tell people for that. I could-
I would like to have the,
Hey, you come down the night before, that's where I'm saying.
uh, I'd like to have the poster board certainly set up.
Have easels
You know,
and all
at
that kind of
open.
stuff.
Yeah, right.
We have one easel, I think.
The drop.
Can you get them with feet? You know,
There used to be easels.
Stand up.
Yeah.
Right, like this is fair project.
Yeah.
There's one right above us and then from it is usual.
Okay.
Right above.
All right,
I know there's one in the front closet.
And there's one in the front closet and one above us in the
Easels would
drama.
be good.
Oh, it's wrong.
I just, yeah, I just.
Snag those. We can snag those easels.
So,
Okay.
the easel thing, all the years I was moderator, we never really allowed what I called the circus show.
Yeah.
We didn't allow people to do the presentations up front with the easels. We just never allowed that. It was always put them in the hall and we've allowed them off to the side over near like where the snacks, where the kitchen is, but we never allowed them to be front and center and have that kind of show.
Right,
It's just,
Right.
and
No.
but Phil's the moderator, he can do what he wants, but for 20 years,
yeah,
for 25 years, I never did that.
Might clog up the front of that entranceway if we do that, because I think people, when they see these,
Right.
when they see these,
they're gonna wanna.
they're gonna stop.
Inside necessarily
Two
of
sets
where
of
they can
these
things.
and split your group up
I'd
because
have to look.
Because that's
there's
where
only one
URC
or
goes.
rally and they're all blabbering questions at you.
Yeah.
Would it not make more sense to have two of those on two different sides of the cafeteria
She just don't.
while you're waiting for people to
Sure.
sit in?
Could do two sets, sure.
So
I bet the elementary school has easels too.
Yeah, so we can do two sets.
which,
All right,
if you get. She can,
I'll check, I'll check with Kimberly.
Well, I have no doubt, Jim, that you will do a great speech no matter what. Your report, I have total faith in
Throw it
what
back.
how you're gonna present it and how you're gonna portray it to the town. Amy, on the warrant, on the petition warrant
color copy
article,
there.
you're gonna be the presenter.
Yeah.
And I like what you wrote. And whatever you want, I mean, you have technically 15 minutes too, so.
Just gonna keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
And I was actually I was gonna switch the order around a little bit and read the warrant article first.
Mhm.
And then talk about it a little bit.
Well, the
after.
warrant article is read,
The moderator reads the warrant.
reads it before you even,
Okay,
for this discussion. So
That's right, and then I'll make a motion to move, because the selectmen won't, most likely, well, they might. George and Ken, Mike's, they back the article, but if they don't, then one of us just needs to move it and somebody second it, because you cannot discuss an article on the floor until it's been moved and seconded.
And then
That won't be a problem.
I'm sure there's gonna be other discussions, and we might even come out and support what she said, because I'm sure that the people will say.
Have fun.
You had.
Have fun coming up against this.
There'll be some.
Yeah, there's good.
All right, well,
They got a presentation for free. No cost to the town,
Yeah.
and education.
And we are gonna work Russ somewhere.
yeah, Russ will have, we'll definitely, I'll mention, like, one of the lines in there
Yeah.
on one of the sheets is,
You can have Russ's survey up on the wall too.
yeah, Russ's survey. Well, I mean, these are Russ's survey with his additions on them for,
Yeah.
possibilities.
I mean, that's a $2,000, well, probably a $5,000 contribution to the town. It's really remarkable.
So,
By the
yeah,
way, 2 copies of that in the office also.
I like what we've done as a group, and I thank you, Chairman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim.
Very much so.
So are we gonna take any bets on whether a statement roughly equivalent to, those numbers are ridiculous? Comes up at the microphone?
Well, that's why I asked the question about who's in it.
I mean, I've
That documentation.
been doing this for 35 years, dealing with contractors and builders, and I've actually built,
Contract.
I've built
Talking about a
I've GC'd 4. My brother's side, I've GC'd 4 houses in my lifetime. $300,000-$400,000 houses back, they're a lot more now, back when they were that price. And I've, I know all these contractors and all these suppliers from insulation to you name it, all the mechanical side. It's what I do. It's what I've done for a living. So if anybody wants to question me, go ahead. I think my reputation is pretty good.
Take anybody.
They could go out and get bids, yeah.
I mean, they'll be probably within, 10%.
Easily. Yep.
I think there's gonna be a complaint that we have no safety, no traffic or safety.
well, we say that's
Well, that's
the
That's why we wanna
upcoming
continue.
traffic study.
That's why I wanna continue.
the simple answer to those things, to the traffic and safety and the.
Never asked.
Explanation is there is no data to support any of those claims. They're just.
There is the same soil subtype and the same distance from any aquifer from this site and that site. And they're all down there.
Except that this site.
Right.
is built-
Yeah.
There's no data to support it.
This site is built on a huge stone bucket to catch it.
Yeah, this site is actually more environmentally friendly to its
You're right.
use. But yeah, there's quite simply no.
There
data to
are
support any of
no
this.
answers to support either way, and that's work to be done next year.
CDL drivers, they hit a little kid.
So anyway,
They lose their life.
Have them come to our forums,
That's not,
Right.
that's not true. Suck much.
and then we'll vote on the next. step.
Better off having the CDL drivers. come
Yes,
back.
we are, absolutely.
Something
Yeah.
interesting that Just what ecological just did in the natural resources. Survey and input that it's still in draft form. That he said there is good reason to keep municipality buildings in the town center because it prevents urban sprawl.
No.
When you start moving municipality buildings outside of the downtown, you increase the likelihood of urban sprawl further out. So anyone that likes conservation. Certainly.
Like in the Spokane, you mean like in the Spokane? Where, do you have that written down anywhere?
Yes, I do.
I'd love to see it. I'd like to see a copy of it.
So if we move the building, like you.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we'll.
Meeting is adjourned at 6:55.
And I did say for,
9:30.
So 9:30 at the.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Town.
I
have to go.
If you, what do you, is there? Friday night to Saturday?
Friday,